What's up YouTube? Welcome to Koala Gardens. We're going to spend a day with Bullet, just having a look at what are some of the things wild koalas get up to. I'm lucky to know a lot of this because I live in the koala's backyard. You're going to see lots of yawning, walking around, climbing, eating, and a little bit of sleeping. Stay tuned, got a great one coming for you. There's lots of ways that you can be involved in the work that I'm doing here at Koala Gardens. Get a shout out here on YouTube by jumping in and becoming a Patreon member or an In the Loop adopter. Thanks to everyone that makes what I do possible. Now, let's have some Bullet. Spending a day with Bullet is always a delight for me because Bullet is a typical male koala. He's not the alpha, so he actually spends a lot more time relaxing than an alpha does because an alpha has to spend so much of their time going all around every different part of the territory that they are the big boss of, that they spend a lot of energy. Bullet, being one of the secondary males, or lower in the colony structure if you like, gets to actually live a cruisier life. So whilst you might get more breeding opportunities as an alpha, you certainly get more chill out opportunities when you are a Mr. Cool Do koala like Bullet. Hey, you're not one of that 60% that haven't subscribed yet, are you? You can fix it. And I'd like to acknowledge the Widjabul Waiable people of the Bundjalung Nation on whose land I live, work and play. I'm Katrina and I'm passionate about saving koalas. On this particular morning, Bullet is sleeping in one of his favourite big forest red gums that's just outside the front area of the house. Makes it wonderful because I can actually see him in this spot from my kitchen window, but this bit of video that I'm taking is from the front veranda of the house. You can see that he's sleeping deeply. Just look at the position he's in, the way he's sitting back on that hard cartilage pad that runs along the lower part of their backs, and he has his legs right up that vertical bit of the branch, and then his arms tucked around his ankles and just one hand holding onto the branch. And then he is fast asleep. He's not just snoozing, he is out for the count. By using the zoom a little bit, I can show you that I'm actually a long way away from him on the veranda of the house, and he's woken up a little bit. That mouth, you see how wide he opened that mouth in order to have that yawn, and look at his little foot tucked up just behind his elbow as he just settles back in and back off to sleep again. He's in a less heavy sleep now because he's looking up, looking around every now and then. He must have pressed his forehead above his left eye against that branch because you can see that mark in his fur. That is not a cut on his face. That's just a mark in the fur, kind of like waking up, you know, with pillowcase marks on your face. I love how he's got such a gorgeous old man sort of face. So he's had a bit of a look at whatever got his attention, back to sleep. Look at the thumb on his foot that's tucked around, propped up, holding his arm. I always know when he starts to sleep a bit lighter and kind of snoozes, looks around, snoozes, looks around, that he is coming out of a deep sleep and will end up getting hungry pretty soon and deciding to move somewhere and get into a meal. So I left the camera out watching him, but of course I've cut out a lot of the long sleeping chunks in between each of the action parts of this movie. Those long sleeping chunks are what I often use to make our relaxation or Zen videos that I often release. Let's do a little bit of speed framing and see him doing the last bit of waking up. One of the beautiful birds you've been hearing in the background are our Australian magpies. These birds feed by walking along the ground and finding lots of very small animals and insects to eat. I think they might have been one of the things that was waking Bullet up at times. Oh, it's so hard when you're waking up but you just don't quite want to get out of bed yet. And as always, I'm never sure exactly when is it going to happen. Fortunately, I was there and I was able to detach the camera from the tripod and go racing down a bit closer without disturbing him to see where is he going to go to have his meal. I love watching koalas walking on the ground when they're here somewhere safe, but of course that is when they're the most vulnerable. And Bullet has chosen one of the young tallow woods that's in the plantation area, and you can see that it's very close to the kindy enclosure. There's no young koalas in the kindy today, and Bullet's gone part way up the tree and he stopped to just have a bit of a think. What do I feel like? Do I feel like tallow wood? Do I feel like swamp mahogany? Do I feel like dunny-eye? Oh, decisions, decisions. And it looks like for this meal, or at least for this beginning part of the meal, the tallow wood has won, being course one of Bullet's meal for today. He's climbing up to find a nice bushy part of the tree where he can sit and reach hopefully as much leaf as possible before he needs to move again. Of course, once the koala gets into this nice thick juicy leafy part of the tree where they've got lots to eat, it becomes pretty darn hard to get good clear photos and video of just how amazing it is to watch a koala browse through and eat. We can see enough of him to know he's in there and that he's got a face full of leaf to enjoy. Bullet then proceeded to spend around about an hour feasting on all this tallow wood. So let's speed things up a little bit again, because this is not one of our long play movies. Finally, Bullet's had enough of this one and he climbed out of the tree and into another tallow wood, which is actually one that he really enjoys to shelter in. And just look at the position that he ended up using to fall asleep. So hilarious. That is one full-tummied, relaxed koala. And you know what, don't you? You've done it. You have made it through to the end of another Koala Gardens video. Please hang around, check out more video. There are some awesome Bullet videos to see if you haven't seen them all. And would you take a moment to write in the comments below, full belly Bullet. Stay tuned, there's lots more great video coming up this month. Another way you can support Koala Gardens is to pop on over to Redbubble and have a look at some of the stunning merchandise that I have developed. You won't believe the range of things that you can get showcasing koalas.